Meet Amina. She has just been offered her first job in Kigali. She is excited, but nervous. Her new employer hands her a contract and says, "Sign here." Amina has never signed an employment contract before. She does not know what should be in it. She does not know her rights. She signs. 3 months later, Amina is fired without any explanation. Her salary was never paid on time. She had no idea she was being treated unfairly, because nobody ever told her the law. Welcome to LawLens Africa, where we break down the law so that nobody gets treated unfairly simply because they did not know their rights. Today, we are talking about the rights of employees in Rwanda. In Rwanda, the main law that governs the relationship between employers and employees is Law No 66/2018 of the 30th of August 2018, also known as the labor law. This law covers everything from how you are hired, to how you are paid, to how you can be fired. On top of that, there is Ministerial Order No. 7019 of 2020, which specifically tells us what must be inside every written employment contract. Together, these two laws are your protection as a worker in Rwanda. Let us break them down. Blank, underscore, blank. Your contract, what must be in it? Before Amina signed that contract, she should have checked one thing. Does this contract contain everything the law requires? Under Ministerial Order No. 7019 of 2020, every written employment contract in Rwanda must contain these core elements. First, the identity of both you and your employer. Who are you, and who are they? Second, the purpose of the contract. What exactly are you being hired to do? Third, the obligations of both parties. What does the employer owe you, and what do you owe them? Fourth, the duration of the contract. Is it permanent, or for a fixed period? Fifth, your place of work. Where exactly will you be working? Sixth, your working hours. How many hours per day and per week? Seventh, your salary and benefits. How much will you be paid, and what extra benefits do you receive? Eighth, deductions on your salary. What amounts will be taken from your pay, and why? Ninth, overtime remuneration. If you work extra hours, how will you be paid for that? 10th, the probation period. Is there a trial period before your contract becomes permanent? 11th, procedures for termination. Under what conditions can the contract be ended, by either side? If your contract is missing any of these, that is a red flag. The law requires them to be there. Blank, underscore, blank. Here we go. What does the labor law say about your rights? Now let us talk about your broader rights under Law No 66/2018, the labor law itself. As a worker in Rwanda, you have the right to fair pay. Your employer cannot simply decide not to pay you, or delay your salary indefinitely. You have the right to safe working conditions. Your employer is responsible for making sure your workplace does not put your health or life at risk. You have the right to rest. The law sets limits on working hours and guarantees you rest periods and annual leave. You have the right not to be discriminated against. No employer can treat you differently because of your gender, religion, ethnicity, or any other personal characteristic. You have the right to join a trade union. Workers in Rwanda are free to organize and advocate for better conditions. And critically, you have the right to fair process before termination. An employer cannot simply fire you without following the proper legal procedure. There must be a valid reason, and the correct steps must be followed. This is what Amina did not know. Her dismissal may have been unlawful, and the law gave her the right to challenge it. Blank, underscore, blank. Special case, working abroad. One more thing worth knowing, if your employer ever asks you to work outside Rwanda, the law gives you extra protection. Under the Ministerial Order, your contract must also specify how long you will work abroad, what currency you will be paid in, how your return to Rwanda will be handled, and where your social security contributions will be paid. Do not travel for work without these things clearly written in your contract. Blank, underscore, blank. Back to Amina. Now that she knows the law, she goes back to her employer and demands answers. She knows what her contract should have contained. She knows her rights were not respected. And she knows she has options. The law was always there to protect her, she just needed to know it existed. That is why LawLens Africa exists. Share this video with every worker you know, because knowing the law is the first step to being treated fairly. Subscribe for more, and we will see you in the next one.